Hello and welcome to Nick V Uncensored. Today we've got Matt Geiger, and today we're going to talk about the Democrat plan to arrest MAGA. This was their plan, and obviously it's failed, and we're going to go into that. We're also going to talk about how lots of people, tens of thousands of people, are going to be losing their jobs to AI, and also the peace deals that Netanyahu is breaching. Matt, thank you so much for joining me. How are you, and what have you been up to?
Doing great, man. Thank you. Good to be with you. Just, staying busy. Just got back from a wedding in Denver over the weekend. So Andrew and Amy had a great time. If you're watching out there, amazing time. And 107 was there. 107 was sitting at my table. So that was fun.
Oh, that's amazing. Juan Savin actually took myself and my fiance to dinner in London when he came here. And he was interestingly telling me how he was involved in the court case in London regarding the Epstein case that's going on. He didn't reveal too much to me, but he's there as a witness or to give evidence. But he's a very interesting man. Yeah.
I love Juan. Juan's always great. He's always super friendly, and he'll talk to the table like he talks on the shows. The same way he comes on, and he'll give you like the rundown on the shows of what's going on. He did that at the table, for everybody, which was cool.
Yeah.
And without divulging too much for people that are worried about the tax man, he had some very good insights on that, and looks like there's some stuff in motion there. So.
That's really good. I'm really excited. Also, I just want to, before we begin properly, I want to say that we're back on YouTube. And I want to say, because we're back on YouTube, I want to just run a disclaimer so that we don't get taken down, so that we can continue waking up as many people as possible, but strategically. We have to be clever in the system. We have to walk in the matrix, but disrupt it. Okay. And I want to say that everything we're talking about, we are not financial advisors. Everything that we're talking about is opinion based. We're exploring the space, speculations, and to do your own research. So I just wanted to put that out there. It's for entertainment and educational purposes only, and to always do your research. Anyway, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. You did mention to me that the Democrats plan to arrest the MAGA leadership, but this was a long time ago. You were saying, was that right? A long time ago? Why did you want to bring it up today?
Well, it's being revealed that Gateway Pundit has, Gateway Pundit's top tier news. It looks like Jack Smith and his group of bandits, right? Because Jack Smith was that special prosecutor that Biden, the so-called Biden, hired in order to go after MAGA. And really, what's been revealed is they were looking to go after everybody. They were spying on Alex Jones. They were freaking spying on probably you, Nick. They were spying on everybody, and their plan was to just generate, what the deep state does best is generate, fictitious criminal or crimes, try to prosecute MAGA leadership. And then, you think back to, there's a rumor, and this is allegedly, so this is something I heard from credible people, but supposedly Obama got or purchased 13,000 guillotines that he was going to use on conservatives that would have been rounded up in FEMA camps way back in the day. So
what
there's
is guillotines? Just tell us, just because I didn't know what it was.
It's just that medieval death penalty where you have that big razor blade, comes down and you put your head in there and it chops your head off, right? Awful.
Evil stuff. Yeah.
Evil stuff, right? Evil stuff. But it goes to show you they want everybody's blood. These communists, Democrats, whatever you want to call them, they were out to kill everybody. They were literally out to kill her. And I think your audience understands that. But it's just interesting now that, I think the Patriots are in control. I think the good guys are in control. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
And, now what we get to do is, instead of letting them get away with it, is now we get to expose it and prosecute them for it. And I love how it's just been drip, drip, drip. And soon we're going to see drip, 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 flood. Yes. And I think we're getting close to that point. And that's also where you could see, a possible banking collapse. But go ahead.
No, of course. We're seeing the system collapse. Absolutely. From a spiritual perspective, the deep state, who are run by an invisible enemy, like Trump likes to call it, they run on fear. They run on frequency, and they don't run on violence, although they commit violence sometimes to create fear. But killing us is not what they want. What they want to do is keep us in fear, because they need souls. They need souls,
right?
But they want to keep us, but in fear. Okay. We are valuable to them. We generate loosh harvesting, which is their food for them. So they need souls, but they need to keep us captured and in a lower frequency. Now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this but because a lot of the things that happen, or sorry, a lot of the things that they say that they want to do does not necessarily mean they are going to do it. They are saying it to make us believe they are going to do it so they can keep us in fear because
Right.
they want us to operate in fear. So it's not necessarily them actually rolling out the action. Yes, there will be here and there to create fear, but most of it is fear porn to keep souls into a low frequency fear for energy harvesting. So, this is what they do. This is absolutely what they do. Not to kill us. They don't want to kill us. They need us. We are valuable to them. We are like gold. Through us, they can, because we're connected to God, because we're connected to God, to them, we are special property where they can use it to harvest energy
Sure.
loosh so that they can continue existing. Because they're disconnected from source, they can't produce loosh energy, and they need us to create that for them so that they can exist. And the reason why they cannot
Sure.
surrender to rejoin source, which they can because they have free will, is because they've forgotten what it's like. What it's like to be with source. They forgot, and they cannot connect because they have ego identity, and it means that reconnecting to source would mean surrendering their identity and their ego identity, and they run a lot on ego identity.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I know it's good because I have these interviews about politics and about Obama and
Right.
the things you were talking about, and now and then I like to instigate. I like to intercept with my spiritual stuff as well,
Great.
and have a different, because the viewers like it. I know the viewers like it, and I've been learning a lot. And so I like to have a combination kebab in there.
You have great perspective in the spiritual stuff, Nick. I love it. I've been starting to get into that stuff myself. I have a lot of friends who get into the spiritual realm, and our friend Scott, he does a lot of spiritual exercises. He'll be at my house and he'll just be doing these little exercises, and it's just really interesting stuff. And I think we have to get out of this trauma-based programming and just start to
Yes.
wake up and realize you don't fear these people. These people should fear us. That's the way it works. They should fear us.
You're absolutely right. Do you know what? If you go really deep in the layers, you unwrap every layer. The truth is, Matt, you're right. They do fear us, and their
Right.
biggest fear is that we wake up and we remember that we are source awareness embodied. Exactly what Jesus was. Exactly what
Exactly.
Jesus represented. He remembered he was source awareness embodiment. He carried the Christ consciousness when he walked. His field was so strong that people would be triggered in remembrance. And that's exactly what they're afraid of. And this is why they keep us in fear. And this is why the mainstream media is a big weapon to them, because they could broadcast fear and keep us in a fear frequency. Now, I want to go into. Is there anything you want to say before we move on?
No, I love with what you're discussing, with the spiritual stuff, and I think everybody needs to just take a deep breath, take a step back, and realize, hey, we're alive, we're kicking, the good guys are winning. There's really nothing to fear,
Absolutely.
Um,
And if some people are thinking, well, this is a bit too much, I'm not really ready for that. It's too spiritual for me.
sure.
I want you to know that it's not that you're not ready. You just need to remember that your natural state of being is spirituality, and you've just been suppressed and you've been conditioned and programmed. Not your fault, but the system's fault. It's amnesia. When we're born, we're given amnesia and we forget who we are. We think we are the body. We think we are the name, the story, the experience. But truly what we are is awareness and
Love that.
and empathy and truth. Absolutely. That's what we are.
Love that.
And so anyway, let's move on. I want to move on to the peace deal that Trump helped to put together. And I always felt that Netanyahu's agreement with the peace deal was optics. And at any point, he's going to, he's not going to stick with it. Do you want to speak on that while I get the
Yeah,
poster?
well, I guess the official narrative is that, some Palestinian sniper shot a IDF soldier and then they retaliated by bombing, Gaza. It's just back to square one. I mean, I think everybody who saw that peace deal knew that that was not going to last. There,
Yeah.
there is no peace in the Middle East. It's unfortunate to say, but maybe these guys just have to fight it out. But I mean, at the same time, um, the optics on Israel, I think, are really going to change. Okay, you had one soldier die. What are you going to go do? You're going to go start carpet bombing the Gaza Strip? I mean, it's outrageous. There has to be some method or some understanding of getting toward peace, and it's like patience. Neither side has any patience, so we knew it wasn't going to last. So here we are. Peace deal's off, and probably expect a lot more warfare to break out over there.
So it says Prime Minister of Israel on X, and it has a grey badge, which means this account is associated with a government. It's a government account. And it says, following security consultations, Prime Minister Netanyahu has directed the military to immediately carry out forceful strikes in the Gaza Strip. Now, we know that Israel, the state of Israel, is the head of the CIA. They are, the Mossad.
Right.
And they are run by the Draco system.
Right.
The narrative, the public story is that the land was promised to them 3,000 years ago. Okay. A religious agenda. Okay. But that's not the truth. That's the public story. That's the religious framework matrix story for us to believe. And, that's not correct. So the truth is that underneath Gaza, there's ancient technologies made out of crystals that are becoming, it's frequency technology, and it's becoming activated. And as this frequency technology becomes activated, it has an impact that increases human consciousness. It works, and the reason why it's working is because the electromagnetic field of Earth, the ozone layer, which is, they're pushing climate change, the elites know this. They know that because the sun now is able to penetrate us with frequency plasma energy, it's working together with the Earth's frequency, the Schumann resonance, with the crystalline ancient tech underneath Gaza, and it's increasing human consciousness. How do we know it's increasing human consciousness? Because people are becoming more aware. People are asking more questions. They're becoming more curious. They are questioning their reality. The systems are collapsing. There are more synchronicities. There are more coincidences. We are seeing the veil thin. And the reason why he's attacking Gaza is a spiritual reason. He wants to destroy the tech. That's what it was made. I believe our ancestors created this frequency crystalline technology right deep under Gaza. I don't know if it was buried out of years and years, but it was created for this purpose, so that if there was corruption, hijacking, like there was with the Draco system, with the invisible enemy, we were hijacked. This was created to mitigate it. So that
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I know.
That's so interesting. That is so interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was created with the same times, around the times of the pyramids when they were created, and it's underneath Gaza, and they've got a certain time frame to find it and destroy it. And according to my sources, they are very, very. They don't have a lot of time. They're very, very far away from success. Okay, and this is their biggest fear. That humans, like what you said, we are their biggest fear of us awakening. And when we awaken, all it needs to take is me and you to say no, I don't like the ID. No, I don't like I'm not giving my kids to the school system. No, I'm not eating this food. No, I'm not giving you power. I'm buying Bitcoin. I'm buying gold. I don't trust the system anymore. That's what they're afraid of, that we wake up and we say no. So it's spiritual and it's political. And this, when we realize why it overlaps, is because spirituality is our natural state that we forgot. That's what
Wow.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck putting your audience back to sleep. Good luck with that.
Because I try to make it sound interesting as well, because not everyone's ready for it. What do you think? Does do I make sense? The way I put it together?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Makes perfect sense.
And this is why this is why he's attacking Gaza. It's not a land grab. It's not a religious land grab. That's just the religious public
Yeah,
story.
it has to be something bigger. There has to be something bigger going on there. That's so, you know, such a mass scale, such a massive scale issue, like what you're talking about. That whole conflict make perfect sense to me.
Absolutely. Okay, so I want to talk about also the 10,000 jobs that people are losing. For an example, Amazon are firing 30,000 employees for um for because of AI. AI is taking over their jobs, right?
Yeah,
And Andrew Tate said this. I'm not a big fan of Andrew Tate. I think he's very aggressive. I think we need more compassion and love. But he's good. He's good as a bridge for the people that are really asleep, who are very, very
yes,
young, the
I agree with
youngsters
you.
very asleep, and he's getting them to ask the questions and becoming sovereign. Sovereign in the not sovereign in the sense of buying gold, buying Bitcoin, saying no to your government.
He
Okay.
brings up the matrix. I think he brings up some good points about, you're living in the matrix. And when
Yes.
people hear that from such a popular figure, I give him a lot of credit for getting people to wake up to the reality. I agree with you. I think he's very aggressive. A lot of things I disagree with, but that's okay. We can all have our disagreements. I like to see people like that use their fame and fortune to awake the masses. That's, to me, I give him a lot of credit for that.
Absolutely. And I think, although he's not transcending the matrix, he's not teaching spiritual sovereignty, he is
Right.
teaching matrix sovereignty. And that's still, an entry level
Right.
that can help people who are really asleep, anchored in ego, anchored in materialism, anchored in fear, even anchored in the fact that they believe in the government, and that they need to. So he's a good bridge for that. He's doing his part.
Sure.
Um, and he says that 13,000 families, he mentioned this, 13,000 families, because of Amazon taking over the jobs of 30,000 people getting fired, are going to suffer if they don't have another job. So again, I'm a big, big advocate for gold, silver, Bitcoin, currencies, lots of things. We have to become sovereign. We have to take responsibility back. Again, do you want to make any comments on that?
No, I think, you're going to see more of that with AI, more job loss. I think, people today, I think the idea should be preserve your money, try to save your money as best you can. For me, gold and silver, before I even ever got into the business of actually selling it, it was a great savings tool for me. I would buy, when I was in my early 20s, silver was obviously more price appropriate for me because I didn't really make very much money. But, before you have this big stack of silver and you're like, wow, this is some real wealth. I have some ounces. It's funny. I look back, I have some ounces that I probably bought at, 10, $15 an ounce, the good old days. So I really think, yeah, XRP, Bitcoin, whatever you can do, any way you can save the stuff, but especially retirement accounts. If you have an IRA or 401k out there, a lot of your viewers have called in, Nick, and thank you to you and the viewers. That's such a great target to preserve that money because, I get a lot of people right now. We're seeing a little bit of a dip in gold and silver price, and it's not a big deal. This is just the paper market manipulation. Right. They're just throwing paper ounces to suppress that price to protect their short positions. They're not going to be able to do this forever. It's a great buying opportunity, if anything. And, the reason why gold and silver are going up, it's really because everything else is going down around it. So, we haven't even seen the banking collapse yet. A lot of people say, Matt, or not a lot of people, but some people say, Matt, gold's overpriced, silver is overpriced, it's coming down. It's like we haven't even seen the beginning of the real financial system breakdown yet. So as that financial break, you're going to start. I think, and this is just my opinion. I think you're going to see gold and silver double here very quickly. Probably
Yeah.
within the next 6 months, you'll see the prices double yet again. Right,
Well,
and those same people. Mhm.
yeah, no,
Go
sorry,
ahead,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
please.
I mean, I'm
Please go
hearing
ahead.
gold. We should see gold 80,000 an ounce. We should see silver in the thousands, I'm hearing. And the reason for that is because it's been heavily undervalued, heavily controlled. Everything is a lie. Everything is a
Everything's a lie.
lie. Even the currency manipulations on
Oh,
other currencies, even Bitcoin is sometimes they can't control it. The maximum they can do is the whales where they dump. You know, that's but all it takes is another whale, a good whale, to buy that. And what I'm saying is there's manipulation everywhere. But when you have physical gold in your hands, okay, when you have physical silver in your hands, you're energetically making a contract with your spiritual self and cutting the energetic cords from the government, from the control grid,
exactly
and
right.
saying, I'm now sovereign. And you're not doing this because of ego. You're doing this because of spiritual sovereignty, so that you are able to be independent and sovereign from the system.
That is,
Okay.
Nick. That is exactly what people are doing when they're buying gold and silver. And furthermore, we have to sort out a lot of these issues. We have to sort out, market manipulation. We have to sort out how, our money being backed by nothing. From what I hear, and I'll defer again to Juan, Trump's going to leave us with really two major accomplishments by the time he's done. Two major accomplishments. One's going to be free and fair elections, paper ballots, no vote rigging, real elections. And the second thing he's going to leave us with is real money. Real money. If we had real elections and real money, that's going to solve so many other problems. If we can get in people through elections that we, the people, are actually choosing, okay, especially with the exposure process, right? When we start to see who these people really are, and we have free and fair elections to choose somebody who's not part of that group, that has such a major impact. That allows us to solve everything.
Yeah.
That allows us to solve our own, right. We're our own. We create our own destiny, and that starts with a free and fair election, and then real money. Real money is so important because what the gangsters, what the deep state figured out is that they can control the money, they can control everything, and that's what they've been doing our entire lives. We never even thought about it in those terms. So I love what you say when you buy gold and silver. You're not playing by their game. You're saying, no, I'm going into this system over here. Your system's collapsing over here. I'm going to be over here, nice and safe and sound, and then I'm going to wait for Trump and the White Hats to take your asses out, and we're going to rebuild this in a free and fair exchange of information, ideas, and money.
Absolutely. My personal goal is that I don't want to have mortgages. I don't even want to have any ties with the government. So what do I do? It's unlikely that I'm going to just pay off my mortgage because it's. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to invest in gold and silver and Bitcoin, sit on it for a while, and then maybe I can pay off my mortgage. No contracts with the banks, because I want freedom. I want sovereignty. I want to own my stuff. I don't want to be rich. I don't have a desire to be rich, but I do want to be free and sovereign.
Yes.
Okay. And everybody's number's different. And that's okay. Whatever that number is for you, because everyone's got a different lifestyle. Some people like to live a little bit more simply, which is fine. It's better, I think, because it's easier. So whatever that number is, I think the most important thing, our goal, is to be in peace, is to be in truth and sovereignty and away from the system. So this is what my goal is. And I want to say that we've had a lot of interest, a lot of people that Matt has helped, come out of their 401ks and IRAs into gold. Even people that don't have that and they've just got a lot of cash in their banks, which I think is a very silly idea. When the account is owned by the banks, you can't really spend it as you want. They want to know exactly what you're doing with the money. It's their money, it's in their accounts. So I would, and it's going down. The value of it is going down. Okay. And I would always put the majority of that in gold. And I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research. But Matt is here to help us. He's helped a lot of people. And I'm going to leave the link below so that you can
Nick,
Yeah.
And thank you so much for saying that. And I just want to add to it, and something to tell your viewers is if you go to any of these other gold companies, okay, I'm just a little guy here in Glendale, Arizona, right? I have a little shop. I'm on 75th and Bell Road. If you're in the area, please stop by. Some people have. So great. Always nice to see people. I do this stuff at a tiny fraction of the commissions at these companies. These other gold companies that you see advertised, and unfortunately, Patriot shows. These guys are charging, it should be illegal. I mean, these guys are charging 100% premiums, right? What that means is that if you come in with the $500,000 IRA, that gold company is taking half of that, $250,000 as commission. And they're doing it to predominantly older folks. I don't want, as I always say in shows, I don't want grandma's retirement account. I want to help her get into the right stuff. We take our little bit of commission. Yeah, we got to make money, but we do it at a shoestring budget compared to these other companies. And I feel obligated to this community, the Patriot community, the soul family, if you will. I want to make sure that you guys are taken care of and that you guys are getting a great deal. You're getting put in the right stuff. And like I said, I've got self-storage options for IRAs. No one else does it. So I want to be an ally. I want to be a resource for anybody to call where they're going to get truth, honesty, transparency. And you should see some of the invoices. I'll send you some of them. Look at the prices that these people are paying with me. It's unbelievable. We could do this stuff way cheaper than everybody else. And I'll do it for you, folks. You guys can talk to me directly. And I think people love that. We have a great relationship with everybody that comes from the show. So thank you. And thank you to your amazing, amazing audience. Thank you.
Guys, if you don't have a plan, now is your time. Click the link below, contact Matt, and make a plan for your future to be sovereign. Gold is the way, okay? Where the government has no control over you and you are freedom. And you're not just doing this for financial reasons. You're doing this for spiritual reasons. Okay, exactly. To be free, to untie yourself. But Matt, thank you very much for what you're doing. You're doing great work, and you've helped a lot of people. And we'll speak again very soon. You take care, and God bless. Bye-bye.
God bless. Thank you.